Hello Taurus, and welcome to your May 2016 General Tarot Card Read. Dee here, and with me is my lovely friend Lucy.
Hello.
Wow, you guys got quite an interesting read. That we've had a lot of energies from a lot of these reads this month, and we're sorry that we're not getting it out right away. We've both had some stuff happen again in our lives, but we're here and we feel that what we're talking about is important for quite a few people.
Doing our best.
Yes.
All you can ask anyone.
Right.
Do your best.
So keep that in mind. This is a general read. It may not resonate with you, but there are 3 different reads here. We do Lucy's read, we do my read, and then we do a combined read. We also have 2 oracle cards, but actually I think only one is really for everybody.
Yeah, probably.
The other one is more for specific, and I think it goes more into what I've been able to see and with somebody specific. So we're going to start. We have 2 overall cards that we pulled from your year in review for the month of May. So we'll start with Lucy's and then we'll go through the rest. Again, keep in mind it's a general read. So, okay, go ahead, Lucy.
The Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands is the beginning of just about everything. It's the gift of will, inspiration, dedication, passion, courage. This card requires that you take action. It's not something that you can put off. You need to take action here, okay?
That's the theme for the month.
Yep, action.
Take action.
The next card is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers represents the perfect balance and the perfect union, you could say. And it begs the question that, do you have all of the elements that are necessary for this union? Do you have the intellectual gifts together? Do you have the passion together? Do you have your beliefs and the things that you live by? Are they in sync with each other? If they're not, then the relationship won't last. It can't last because you can't go against your own true nature, even though you love somebody. Okay? We have the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is confident. She is straightforward in her actions and her words. And they also match her truth. You won't find anyone more straightforward, more truthful in your life than the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is about, reminds us to celebrate the simple joys in life, to celebrate those joys with the people around us, to nurture and not take for granted the people around us, to acknowledge and appreciate them, and to practice gratitude, of course, the Three of Cups, because you'd be grateful for what you have. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, of course, Pentacles are all about resources. So, and this indicates the end of a cycle. So you have learned all that you care to learn in this process. You have invested all you want to invest. So right here it says, well, okay, why not pass on a little bit of that? Why not pass on the gift that you were given? You don't need it anymore. You've got what you came for, so pass it on. And the last is Justice. Now, Justice holds the future and the past in her hands. There she is telling you to balance your life, and it's a karmic balance, to look to your past. It helps to shape your future, to take responsibility for what you've done, to learn from your mistakes, to forgive yourself, move on, and do better. That's what Justice wants you to do. That's the advice of that card. So you're starting out with the Ace, all your gifts, all the energy here. Action is required. Don't waste them. Move on into the Lovers. Where's a card of union? But do you have everything you need in this union? Is it going to fulfill you the way you need it to, so that it will be a lasting relationship? The Queen of Swords. honesty and truth. That's her motto. The Three of Cups, celebration, joy, the simple things in life are yours to celebrate with the people around you. Don't degrade the people around you. Take the opportunity to spend time with them. Enjoy the simple things, a sunset, a moonrise, a glass of wine, a laughter of a child, anything. Pentacles there. You have everything you need. You've earned it. You've worked for it. You've learned all you want to learn. It's time to move on a little bit. Why not pass it along too? You have what you're going to need to see you through. And justice there. Look at your life. Look at the balance. Balance your life. Think of the future. Plan for the future. Work toward it. But learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself for them.
So it's a very interesting progression with Lucy's, and then when you get into mine, it's kind of interesting too. So we're going to start off with the card that I pulled for them overall for the month for you is the Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands is about petty squabbles. It's about competition. It's a time for taking charge and not letting things overwhelm you to where you're just all these petty squabbles and everything. And it's also, it's telling you not to be a part of the petty squabbles. Distance yourself, rise above it so that you can get past it. And this is the theme for the month with this. So the first card that I pulled is the Ace of Cups. Now the Ace of Cups is a new beginning. It's about overflowing emotions. It has to do with love. It has to do with how you perceive things when it comes to love, and yet starting anew and having those emotions available to you. And I think for this read, for some of you, it's a reclaiming of your emotions, and so that you're able to turn around and give them back to somebody else. And then coming up right back from that, and to yourself, is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, he's holding a chalice of hope. He is also dealing with overflowing emotions and the energy that comes behind it. And it's telling you to take this time and all these emotion and put it into something that you're very passionate about and to move forward with that. Then I think that for some of you, this is where the read kind of gets a little more specific. Some of you, I pulled the Eight of Cups, are going to have to make a decision. Now the Eight of Cups is about turning away from things that no longer serve you. And usually this has to do with an emotional nature. And I was telling Lucy that as I was doing this, I see somebody that's in an affair. And I think the time has come for you. You may have felt the elation of it being a new beginning and all this energy, overflowing emotions, but now you're coming to a head and you need to make a decision and you need to walk away from something that no longer services you, because I truly believe it no longer services you. You know what you're doing. You know that it's not right for you, who you are, and the situation too. So you're being called to make a change, and you're being called to make a decision, and that sometimes means we have to walk away from our emotions and to do what we know is right to ourselves and our truth. Then I receive the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords talks about being sneaky. It's about dishonesty. It's doing something that you know is wrong. It's somebody coming and stealing from you. And I really feel that, again, this pertains back to that affair or the emotional attachment that you may have with somebody. You know that it's wrong. You know that you're being dishonest and you're being called on it. And I really feel that if you do not make your choice and you do not change, this is where the Nine of Swords plays in. The Nine of Swords is about nightmares. It's about worry. It's about allowing the unknown what-ifs to take over and become real. For you, if you do not change this stuff that's coming on in your life, you're going to have a lot of this, all these what-ifs that are going on, they're going to almost feel like they're going to come real. And you're having a lot of worries and nightmares over this. And I think you know what needs to be done. And again, I know this is kind of a specific read, but this needs to be said. I don't believe in sugarcoating things. I think that it's more important that we're honest and being truthful, and this is part of it. So you know the things that you're doing, and you know where you feel wrong and your truth and your consciousness, and it's getting to where it's worrying you and keeping you up at night. So you're being called to make a difference and to change. that being said, this read wasn't for everybody. And I get there's a couple people actually, but I know I feel one person in specific that this is for that watches us. So keep that in mind. So now we're going to do the combined read. This one's more general and more for open for everybody. I'm sorry about that honing in on somebody specific, but I have to do what's being told me, and that's just the way that it goes on that. So for the month of May, you have two pretty high energies here with the Ace of Wands, which is about your creativity process and your thinking, and then you've got the Five of Wands, which is it's the competition and sometimes the petty squabbles, but it can also be a time of change and making that change. And I really think that for you guys that this is the month of change for you. And this has to do with your emotions and your thought process. I don't really see work. I don't really see school. I just see emotions and thought process and creativity. Wow.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a pairing, I mean, come on, the Lovers and the Ace of Cups, a new beginning.
Yeah.
So I feel that for somebody, there's going to be a relationship coming up where you're going to have to choose. It's going to be a very emotional one, like Lucy had talked about before, and I think that kind of carries over. You're going to have to choose between love and work, or you're going to have to choose. You have a path, and you need to find out what your truth is. Because if you decide to go the emotional way, I think it'll be a new beginning for you, but it'll have to be a choice. So this also speaks to your loved ones too, and new beginnings. I think there's going to be some new beginnings for family situations.
In a relationship.
Right, renewals and overflowing emotions and new beginnings. So look forward to that this month. I think it's going to be
what first brought you together.
Yeah. Then this is interesting, especially following up after the Lovers, and I see again a Queen of Swords and a Knight of Cups. This is a pairing too. This is a very emotional pairing. This is, again, for somebody specific. I think it's a good thing, especially following up with the cards afterwards.
Little cards before, too.
Yeah. So the Queen of Swords is somebody who cuts through the truth and is able to see the truth in a situation. And the Knight of Cups is all about charging forward and taking action. So I think that in any relationship, you need to sometimes step back and don't let your emotions rule you and push you to where you are flowing with that energy and not listening to her and letting,
because your emotions can push you to places you really don't want to go.
Right. So I would say for some of you, you need to embody the Queen of
control
Swords.
Can be very dangerous.
Right. And don't let the feeling of the moment and the spring fever sweep you away to where you're not able to keep that cool-headedness about you.
Yeah. We all need balance.
And when I see this, I go this way. I think that for some of you, there's going to be some emotional decisions you'll have to make. You'll have to walk away from what no longer services you. And this may pertain to some friendships. You know, it's hard because you think once you're a friend, you always need to be a friend. But I really believe in seasons. And I think there are certain people that are placed in our lives for us to learn lessons. And I think that there's going to be some walking away for a few of you. But I also see that the decision is going to make it so that the celebrations you do have with the friends you have are going to be that much sweeter and that much more enjoyable. So this is going to be a good month for that too for you. Going through and changing what no longer serves you. This one is interesting, Lucy, because the Ten of Pentacles is all about your home life, but this one's about deceit and stealing and I think
Go ahead. It's about resources too, though. I mean, you know, you've like I said before, you've learned all you can learn. You want to learn. You've invested all you want to invest. You're at the top of your game here, and something else has struck your fancy. So, pass it on a little bit and move on to the next adventure. This here is.
I see this as a warning too.
Yeah, I know
that somebody's getting something stolen from them.
Yeah, they can absolutely. Instead of being given the chance to pass it on, someone's taking it from you.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah.
In fact, there's somebody that we're going to get specific. I know we're in another general read, and this can go, but you need to check with your financial advisor, or somebody's stealing something from you. I don't know if it's the financial or the family.
Yeah.
It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to change. And if it means you need to change things around in your will, or you need to do things to protect yourself, do it.
Yeah. Protect your family.
And protect your family.
Your future, the future of your family.
Right. Yeah. Because the Pentacles is all about that.
But passing it on.
Yeah. I think this has to be specific in that part of the read. Sorry, guys. And then the next, well, not really, but we're going to say what we need to say. Justice. and the Nine of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
For some of you, there's a legal matter going on and you feel that it's just a whole what if this, what if that, and you're spinning and you're thinking and it's worrying you. But I see justice stepping in front of this and saying justice will prevail. It's also about balance. So that one is a specific, but this right here, you need to balance your thoughts. You need to balance the light with the dark, the negative with the positive. And keep in mind that even though we all go through ups and downs and peaks and hills and valleys, you still need to balance that. So keep yourself balanced. Don't let this get to where it's ruling you, because this is a month of change for you guys. Okay. Now, again, these are kind of more specifics, but the one card we got, which was very funny because we've never gotten this in a, never have gotten it in a general read, which is interesting. I've gotten it in individual reads, but never in an individual or in a general read. So this one's called Medusa, and it's talking about how jealousy leads to downfall. And if you know the story of Medusa, which is kind of interesting, in fact, I would say go ahead and look it up, or I might put a little synopsis in the description of the video. But her jealousy led to her downfall, and eventually it came to where she got her head chopped off, and the different snakes talking to her and all that kind of stuff. So now this doesn't mean just in a one-on-one relationship. This can also be being jealous of something that somebody else has. I would just say be content with what you have. Don't let your jealousy overwhelm you to where you can't see what you have, and to where it becomes your downfall, because all you're focusing on is all the things that you don't have instead of the things that you do have. This one's called Peaks of Joy, and I'm going to have Lucy read it to you. And I think this is a good one to end the read with.
Joy is yours today. No matter what your inquiry, you will be happy with the result. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement, and you've worked hard for it. You're surrounded by true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you to the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful. Let gratitude fill your heart, and remember to share your happiness. Joy is contagious.
So this month is a month of change, and the decisions that you have to make, and I believe it could be mostly with your love life or your family life, but these decisions that you're going to make are going to change a lot of how your life is going to be. So keep that in mind. Focus on the good. Remember that it's peaks of joy. There's peaks of joy there for you.
Yes, there are.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taurus, for staying with us. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and send us an email. Again, I know this was kind of specific, but if this didn't really resonate with you, please look at your rising sign too, because there's some other really good things in some of the other reads that might pertain to you. Okay? In the meantime, walk in light, peace, and love, and we'll talk to you soon.
Goodbye.